Have you ever stopped to ask yourself how you got here? Perhaps your story is similar to that of many men. You met someone special, you dedicated yourself, you gave it your all. Gifts, attention, constant messages, but at some point, everything changed. What once seemed like reciprocity turned into contempt. Criticism began to appear, looks of disdain, and suddenly you realized that you were stuck in a cycle where it seemed like you were never enough. And what's worse, not only did she lose respect, but she started to control you. Her words weigh on your mind, your actions revolve around her, and even when you try to regain control, it's as if the quicksand only pulls you further down. This isn't a relationship, it's a power game. And today, you may be feeling that doubt. How did I let this happen? The truth is that continuing like this will destroy you. Your self-esteem, your confidence, your power. Everything will be gone if you don't act, but there is a way out. And it doesn't lie in revenge or submission, but in wisdom. In this video, I'll show you how Stoicism can be your most powerful weapon. You'll learn how to destroy the inflated ego of those who try to diminish you, how to put an end to contempt, and, most importantly, how to recover your value once and for all. Now you're about to understand what you need to do to turn the tables. And it all starts with the first step, recognizing where the disrespect comes from. But first, make sure you're already subscribed to the channel. We're bringing you daily content to help you become the best version of yourself. Let's go. Understand where disrespect comes from. Imagine you meet someone special and decide to do everything you can to impress them. Lots of gifts, frequent messages, and even changing your habits to please them. Sounds like a good idea, right? But in practice, this can create the opposite effect. When you put the other person's needs above your own in an exaggerated way, what you're conveying is that you don't value yourself. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, said that respect begins with self-worth. If you show that you'll accept anything to keep the other person close, you're actually teaching them that they can be treated in any way. It's not the other person's malice, but a natural consequence of how you position yourself. Think of a soccer match. The respected captain leads with firmness, showing strength and confidence. Now imagine a captain who only tries to please the team without ever making any decisions. That doesn't inspire anyone. The same goes for life. Those who present themselves with dignity and confidence are respected. So ask yourself, am I showing my worth? Respect is not something you earn by asking for it, but by being true to yourself. Cut off the source of her power. Now that you understand how disrespect can arise, it's time to take action. Think of a leaky bucket. You pour water into it, but it keeps flowing out. That's what it feels like to invest energy, time, or money in someone who doesn't value you. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus only on what we control. Maintaining this dynamic is like insisting on filling something that will never be complete. Every time you pay attention to someone who treats you disrespectfully, you are surrendering control of your emotions. And when you do that, your inner strength weakens. Instead, learn to say enough. It's not about hurting the other person, but about stopping allowing them to use your dedication selfishly. By withdrawing your attention, you cut off what feeds the unbalanced relationship. Without the power that came from you, the other person loses their ability to manipulate. Just as we turn off the tap to avoid waste, stopping these attitudes is essential to protect your value and energy. Show indifference after cutting off the source of her power. The next step is to change the way you react. Imagine a child trying to get attention by throwing a tantrum. If the adult responds with irritation or gives in, the child realizes that their behavior works. Now, if the adult remains calm, the strategy loses its effect. The same principle applies to relationships based on emotional manipulation. Stoicism teaches us that intense emotional reactions only reinforce the other person's control over us. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but the judgment we make of them." By responding calmly and indifferently, you remove the impact that disrespectful behavior could have. Practice indifference. It's not coldness, but the ability not to let other people's attitudes dictate your mood. When the other person realizes that your provocations or manipulations no longer generate a reaction, they will be forced to rethink their actions. This isn't revenge, it's balance. You are showing that you value your peace above all else. In the end, true strength lies in your ability to remain calm, even when they try to throw you off track. And little by little, power changes hands. You become the master of your emotions, not the other person. Did you already know these points? Did you know they existed? Let me know in the comments if you've been through this. or if you know the story of someone you know who has done something similar. I'll help you in the comments. Take back your personal power when you allow someone else to control your emotions. It's like handing over control of your life. Imagine you're the captain of a ship, but you let someone who doesn't know how to sail decide the direction. Does that make sense? For Stoicism, regaining command means understanding that no one can shake your inner peace without your permission. Epictetus said that we are only responsible for our actions and thoughts. Accepting disrespect or giving in to manipulation is giving up your dignity. Reclaiming your power starts with a decision. Prioritize your self-esteem and set clear boundaries. Ask yourself, where have you given in more than you should? List these situations and, from now on, commit to respecting your own values. It's not about punishing the other person. It's about protecting what is essential to you. When you show that you value yourself, respect from others becomes a consequence. After all, if you don't take care of your well-being, who will? Practice total detachment. Detachment is a powerful lesson from Stoicism. Imagine you're holding on to a very tight rope. The more you pull, the more painful it gets. Now, what if you let go? The pain would disappear and you'd be free. That's what detachment is. By releasing the need to control or please the other person, you free yourself from something that only brings suffering. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what is within our control, our thoughts and actions, and let go of what we can't change. When you detach emotionally, you eliminate the space for manipulation. It's not that you don't care, but you understand that your inner peace doesn't depend on others. Think of it this way, if you don't need others to change in order to be happy, you regain your power. When you realize that you don't need to be tied to anyone to feel complete, your inner strength grows. Practicing detachment means giving yourself the freedom to live according to your own values, without being controlled by external emotions. Build a life beyond the relationship once you've regained your personal power and let go of harmful dynamics. It's time to focus on yourself. Imagine you're building a house, but you spend so much time looking after a single wall that the rest falls apart. This is what happens when your life depends exclusively on a relationship, especially if it's unhealthy. Stoicism teaches us to live with emotional independence. Seneca talked about the importance of cultivating one's own interests and seeking personal growth. Your well-being cannot depend on a single person. Dedicate yourself to your own growth. Learn something new, develop skills, strengthen other friendships. The more you dedicate yourself, the less emotionally dependent you become on anyone else. When your life has purpose, relationships become a complement, not your only source of happiness. The message is clear. You deserve a rich life for yourself, and in doing so, you become stronger and more attractive to others. Well, we're halfway through the content, and I've noticed that you haven't liked this video yet. This is very important so that YouTube continues to share our content with you, and so we can continue to help you. So please like this video for free, okay? Moving on. Live with purpose and integrity after regaining your power and letting go of toxic relationships. The next step is to live with purpose. Imagine a boat drifting aimlessly, without a clear destination. It is easily lost. To live without a purpose is to let life be guided by external circumstances, rather than by your choices. Stoicism teaches us to live by solid principles. Marcus Aurelius believed in living according to reason and values. No matter what happened around you, when you act according to your values, respect from others comes naturally. There's no need to seek approval, because your actions speak for themselves. Having a purpose is knowing who you are and what you stand for. Integrity manifests itself when you act according to these principles, regardless of external pressures. You become admired for your consistency and inner strength. True strength comes from being true to yourself. When you live with integrity, no one can take away what is yours, because you become uncheckable. Accept that self-control is essential. Self-control is fundamental to living in balance. Imagine a river without direction, which could destroy everything around it. Our emotions work in the same way. Without control, they can lead us to impulsive reactions, damaging our peace. Stoicism teaches that although we can't control everything around us, we can always choose how to react. Epictetus said, "It is not the things that happen to us, but how we react to them that affects us." When we understand this, we act in a balanced way, regardless of the circumstances. Exercising self-control means choosing how to respond, even in the face of challenges. It's not about repressing emotions, but about directing them constructively. By doing this, you become the master of your reactions. And as you master self-control, You realize that true freedom lies in living according to your own values, not being dragged down by external emotions. Now that you've understood the Stoic principles applied to your personal development, it's clear that true power comes from within. From the moment you recognize the source of disrespect and set limits, to the moment you learn to cultivate self-control, every step you take strengthens your self-esteem and your ability to act with integrity. Stoicism teaches us to be masters of our own reactions, to live with purpose and not to depend on external factors for our inner peace. Remember, respect is earned through your actions, not through forced gestures or the expectations of others. By living in line with your values, you become an unbeatable version of yourself. Now put what you've learned into practice. Start applying these principles in your daily life and watch how your life and your relationships evolve. True respect begins with self-control and the strength to live your truth. You have the power to transform your reality, and the journey begins now. Thank you for watching so far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next content. Until the next video.